Okay, number 8. You need praise to feel good.
Yes,
Doesn't it?
God. Yes, I
Yeah.
need people. If I do something that I think is good and nobody gives me praise for it, then I feel poopy. Welcome to Trevor Talks Too Much, the show where I say my silly little words and express my silly little thoughts and feelings, and we have a silly, goofy little time. I'm your host, Trevor Everts, master baker, mythical soft boy, and proud owner of Shrek 2 on Blu-ray. It's a great film. One of the greatest films, I think, of our generation. Today, I'm talking by myself. No guest. Just me. Well, and Jamie. Jamie's going to be here,
Hi.
I reckon. Yeah, that's Jamie. You just heard her voice. We're talking about being a people pleaser. I would consider myself a people pleaser, I think. But I don't know if I'm an actual people pleaser. I like to please people. I don't know if those two things are the same, though. You want to know what didn't please me today? Is you haven't seen freaking John Wick.
I know.
How have you not seen John Wick? Oh, my God.
I don't know. I just feel like whenever anyone went to go see it in like the theater, I just didn't go. And then it doesn't feel like a movie I would want to watch by myself.
No.
And then it's never come up. I mean, it has, but it hasn't. You know what?
I've seen all 3 John Wick films probably like 7 times each, and I'll just watch them all the time by myself. It's a great movie. Honestly, John Wick is like what Fast and Furious wishes it could be. And don't get me wrong, I love the Fast and Furious movies, okay? I love them. However, the Fast and Furious movies, it's like they have this, they got this blueprint, and then they just keep doing the same thing over and over again. But like they just kind of get progressively worse, you know?
Yeah.
In a way.
No.
Some of the later ones are good, but like...
Are they?
Yeah, I think so.
I
liked 7.
So I saw 10 in the 4D theater.
Wait, shut up. There's not 10.
I swear to God.
No.
Or is it Fast 9? It might have been Fast 9. Okay,
yeah, they're
whatever.
on 9 right now. There's gonna be a 10th one.
Okay, I saw Fast 9 in the 4D theater, so it's like
so it's like rumbling.
It's more than that. So there's 4 seats, like everything's by 4 seats, and you sit down, and so it rumbles. But when they're getting into fights, like the back of your chair like punches you in the back. And then like there's this for like when you're going through things, and it's like the cars are going through the air. There's this this is gonna sound bad, but it's like this little tube at like down between your feet that almost feels like it's supposed to be like a catheter, and it just like blows air out, but then it hits your calves and it feels weird. And then like when the rain happens, it's like big water droplets just come down, and it's like honestly, like everyone in the theater was just laughing because I mean I feel like that's the only way you can enjoy that movie though.
No, here's the thing: we should have stuck to the 2 dimensions. We didn't need to flirt with a 3rd and 4th dimensions. Two dimensions was fine, I think, for movies. You know.
Yeah, so you're not a big 3D guy.
I'm not. I hate 3D movies. Give me headaches.
Oh.
Like when I sit in a 3D movie for too long, it makes my head hurt. I think it's the same thing with when I get sick playing VR. Like there's just too much going on. I can just sit and watch a flat screen and enjoy myself. I don't need things popping out of me or water spraying me. Anyway, you got me all off track, okay? I had a clear and concise point that I wanted to make, which was that the Fast and Furious movies have gotten like progressively worse over time. They had a very successful movie and they had this blueprint and they redid it. John Wick, somehow I think the movies are only getting better. They have the blueprint, which is Keanu Reeves going on a killing spree for 2 hours. And somehow they did it a 2nd and 3rd time and it got better.
Okay, so
I can't wait for number 4.
I'll make you a deal. By the time we record another podcast, I will have watched at least 2 John Wicks.
All right. I'm going to hold you to that. I swear.
And then if I don't accomplish this goal,
you owe me $5.
You get to smack me in the face with a wet tortilla.
No, I don't want to physically harm you. I just
wouldn't
want
be
your
physically harmed.
I just want your money.
All right, I'll give you $5.
You underestimate how hard I can slap.
He's a tortilla slapper here.
I've slapped a few people with tortillas in my days. Today we're talking about being a people pleaser.
Yes.
I said that I wanted to do this, and I hadn't thought about it since I said I wanted to do it. So I don't know.
Well, you know what's interesting? One that's interesting is that you can actually search on WebMD the symptoms of being a people pleaser, which
That's weird.
because I guess it's part of they consider it part of like mental health.
Okay. I mean, that makes sense.
Yes. So, okay, what I was thinking, because you said that you didn't know if you were one or not,
Yeah.
is that I'm going to go through some signs of whether or not, like, of what makes a people
You're
pleaser.
going to diagnose me.
I mean,
All right. No, let's send it. I'm
we're
ready.
gonna try it.
I'm
Okay,
ready.
so this is one sign is because I consider myself somewhat of a people pleaser, but I've been
Okay.
trying to reform myself lately. And not all of these are gonna match. They don't say how many you need to be a people pleaser, but I'm gonna say
All right.
a few.
Okay.
The first one I don't think you do, but let's see. You pretend to agree with everyone.
God, no.
No.
No. Hell no. So many people are wrong on such a regular basis. And unfortunately, it falls to me to tell them that they're wrong.
Well, I think also even like it's fun to have like debates and conversations with people. This is a really stupid argument because everyone loves mashed potatoes. But
Yeah.
if I said I hate mashed potatoes and then someone like you were like, you actually liked them, but then you're like, I guess they're not that great.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it depends on that's a hard question because I have no problems telling someone that they're wrong, but it also depends on the person, the situation, and what they're talking about, I guess.
Yeah.
Because I would say that there's definitely times when I've done that kind of just to avoid conflict. Where it's like, I know that if I say something like this is going to turn into a whole thing and I just can't do it right now. But I don't know that that would qualify as people pleaser. That would be more of like a conflict avoider.
Yeah, I would say that. I feel like people pleasers like no, like I mean they do want to avoid conflict, which is probably a big
Yeah.
reason why they want to please people. It's because
Yeah.
conflict can be awkward.
Okay. All right. Let's go to the next one.
The next one is you feel responsible for how other people feel. So it's healthy to recognize how your behavior influences others, but thinking you have the power to make someone happy is a problem. It's up to each individual to be in charge of their own emotions. So, like, do you feel like when you're around someone and they're in a bad mood that it's your job to help fix that?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. I would say so. I think I generally like, hold on. I found the list that you're reading off of.
Okay.
That was in the document. So now I'm reading it too. Yeah, I would say so. I think that a lot of times I would say more with people close to me. Not with like everybody, not like random people on the street that like seem sad, but like definitely with people that I'm really close to, I would say that I feel a responsibility if I notice that they're down or out of it, that I need to personally do something to make them feel better. So yeah, I would say so.
But does that then in turn make you feel worse about yourself if you can't accomplish that?
No.
Okay.
No. Because if I obviously want to help people feel better, but whether I think I'm good at recognizing when something is like out of my control and there isn't really anything I can do to help. And then at that point, once I recognize that, I'm more just like, hey, if you need anything or if I can be there for you in any way, you let me know. But obviously, this is kind of your cross to bear, and I can't really do anything.
Yeah.
So I would say I have pretty healthy boundaries when it comes to knowing like when I can do something and when I can't, I guess.
No, totally. I think that's good. I feel like this usually probably happens with if you have family members that might be a little overbearing sometimes, or
Yeah.
friends that are more like when you have a friend that's like more dominant maybe in
Yeah.
their energies.
Yeah.
And so you feel like their energy has to like you're responsible for making sure that they're having a good time if they're not having a good time.
Yeah.
Especially like if you're like, "Oh, I invited my friend out to do this," and they look like they're having a time.
Yeah, that one's definitely tough for me when I do like any sort of like gathering or if I plan something and invite people. I'm always scared because I've always had like lots of different groups of friends.
Mm.
And so like when like for example at my birthday party, I was like, I don't know who to invite because it's like I know that this is where it's going to be and these people are going. And then I have these other friends that I'm like, I don't know if they would mesh well, and I'm worried that like I don't know if they'll get along or if it'll be awkward for like one or both groups.
Yeah.
So then if I do end up inviting them, then I feel like I'm bouncing back and forth, like making sure that like both groups are like having fun and having a good time and nothing's weird. So I don't know, that doesn't feel like being a people pleaser though. It just feels like being normal.
Yeah, but it's also like I don't know if you experience this, but for me, the way that I interpret this one too is that when I'm meeting up with friends or with my boyfriend and they're like, where do you want to eat? I always hate making that decision because I don't want to make the wrong decision. I don't
Yeah.
want to be like, oh, I picked this place. Then everyone's like, and they don't and then I'm like, no. And that's why I'm like, no, 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 wherever you want to go.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
just being
yeah.
kind of agreeable in that
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, I get that. I remember one time oh God, I was going out to Korean barbecue with some friends from work. Actually, it was Chase and his girlfriend Sarah and Zach and Caitlin, and then a couple other friends and that weren't from work. And my freaking apartment flooded.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
before.
man.
So I ended up just telling, I was like, everyone go there. Like, I'll meet you there. I have to deal with this though, because like something happened with like the plumbing and my toilet was just overflowing and wouldn't stop.
Oh, man.
So I was like, and I was super stressed out. And I was like, I just got to fix this. And then like the whole time I was feeling bad because I was like, they're not there without me. And then I was getting texts and they're like, yeah, the wait's really long. And I was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to handle this because I invited these people to hang out, but now my apartment's flooding and they're all there without me. And there's a long wait for this restaurant and I'm not there. So I don't know what to tell them to do or if I should just tell everyone to go home. I was definitely freaking out then, but that seemed like an anomaly. I don't think that's enough to diagnose me yet. This is fun. You know what we should do? We should just have episodes where we go through WebMD and self-diagnose. Be like, man, I got a weird mole here. Seems like I got skin cancer, you know? I actually do have a weird mole on my arm that I've been meaning to get looked at. Hold on.
Can you find it in your pirate shirt?
Yeah, hold on. The sleeves are tight. And
well, because you can't get your...
It's this one. You can't see it, but it's got all the qualities of an irregular mole that you want to look out for. So with moles, you want to look out for non like uniform edges, like if it's not a perfect circle. You want to look for like multiple colors in the mole. So if the mole has like different colors throughout, that's not good. And yeah, this mole basically checks all the boxes for probably being bad, but I haven't got it looked at. I tried to make an appointment with a dermatologist, but then I never did. So
WebMD it is.
Well, no,
I'm
because here's
kidding.
the thing.
No,
I got all the risk factors. No, this is the skin. This is the skin condition podcast. Now we're not talking about being a people pleaser anymore. I hit every single like risk factor for skin like skin related problems. Like every box, it's like you might be at risk if like, and I check every single box. So like every time I go out in the sun, one, I'm lathered in like 80 SPF, and then also what was I gonna say? No, I'm always scared because like I'll go out in the sun and I'll be like, well, who knows? Maybe that was the trip outside. That's why I don't touch grass. That's why I sit inside and play video games, because every time I go outside, I'm like, maybe this is the time that I finally die from it. Maybe this is the time I finally die from going outside. Anyway.
No. Anyway, so number 3, you apologize often.
Oh, all the time. Yeah. Everything's my fault.
Yeah. Like even like when like so many times like people will be like, you don't have to apologize. I'm like, I know, but I just don't know what else to say.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry.
I'm like, everything's my fault even when I know it's not. And then people are like, you don't have to apologize. It's not your fault. And then I'm like, I know. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have apologized. I'm sorry for apologizing.
Yeah. This is also something that a lot of typically like women tend to do a lot too, is we tend to apologize for anyone's discomfort because for whatever reason
because frick the patriarchy. Men are the worst.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
But I would say people as a whole.
Hey, I'm sorry.
That you can apologize for. You can apologize on behalf of the patriarchy.
I don't want to apologize on behalf of. That makes it sound like I'm a part of it.
No, you're not.
Look, I've been just clearing gender roles since 1999, baby. How many more? I was about to say the most Harry Styles thing ever.
What was it going to be?
I was going to say, how many more skirts do I need to wear before the gender roles are demolished? Like, that's what Harry Styles is doing for the world.
Oh, yeah. He is queer baiting for sure. Oh, and I saw a video, a meme of the Chris Pine thing.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that. Someone superimposed a goat, like a baby goat.
Oh, I saw that where he drops a goat. This just in, Harry Styles drops a goat in Chris Pine's lap. Oh, I saw that. That was good. That was a good video. Good edit.
That was a good one.
All right, next one. I'm ready to get diagnosed.
Number 4, you feel burdened by the things you have to do. So you're in charge of how you spend your time, but if you're a people pleaser, there's a good chance your schedule is filled with activities that you think other people want you to do.
I don't know. Kind of. Sometimes. This is so weirdly worded because every one of these is like, this is so bizarre to think about. Like I feel burdened by things I have to do, not because I'm a people pleaser, but because I have anxiety.
Yeah.
Like,
same.
Or bipolar 2 or depression or whatever mental illness I have. I haven't gotten officially diagnosed yet, so we're still in the dark on that, but I'll figure it out, I promise. But like it's those things that make me like not want to go out, and then I feel bad because I feel bad about bailing on people. But I don't know, maybe that's people pleasing.
It's a form of it. I used to do that too, where I'm like, I just force myself to do things, and my mom actually told me one time, she's like, Jamie, you don't always have to do stuff. And I'm like, yeah, but then like I think that goes into FOMO a little bit too. Like I feel like I'm gonna be missing out, but they're like, but she's like, you're gonna miss out on something you didn't want to do in the first place. All right. Number 5. You can't say no. Whether you say yes and then actually follow through, or you later fake an illness to get out of your commitments, you're never going to reach your goals if you can't speak up for yourself. So this is like kind of like telling you what it means, but also giving you advice on like why you shouldn't do it, which is interesting in this article. This is by Psychology Today, everybody.
I cannot verify what Jamie is just... No, it is Psychology Today. I don't know what Psychology Today is, but it seems...
It's actually a pretty big publication.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's huge. Reputable source.
Yeah.
Here in the Trevor Talks Too Much podcast, we only use reputable sources. Unless the words are coming from me, then that is a very irreputable source.
But do you feel like you kind of say yes a lot?
Yeah, I mean, I think actually that's something that I've been working on recently and getting better about. Because I definitely used to say yes a lot. And then I would like either bail last minute or fake something or give a reason why I couldn't go. But I think recently I've been better about just, setting clear boundaries and saying no, like, hey, I don't really have the energy for that, or I'll have to let you know, or I'm really busy and I don't think that I'm going to be able to do that. So, recovering.
Yeah.
Recovering, making steps.
Boundaries are good. Boundaries are good. Yeah, that one's a tough one for me. I've been learning to say no more. Because it's exhausting.
It is. It sucks. And then you feel worse if you say yes and then don't do it. Like if you say no up front, like, hey, I don't think I can make that happen, you feel so much better than saying yes and then like last minute being like, actually, like it's not going to work.
Yeah. No, it's true. Because that is the part that you're like, especially if someone's counting on you for something and you just like actually don't have the capacity to do this.
Yeah.
Also, when people say no to me, I don't
Makes you happy?
It does. I don't get mad. I'm like, thank God. Say no to me. I didn't actually want to do that either.
Oh, God. Actually, honestly, the amount of times that I've been in a group chat where people are like starting to make plans and I'm like, oh, no, I don't want to do it. And then someone else says no and I'm like, I can say no too. I wasn't the first one.
Yeah, as long as you're
like,
the first one.
Actually, me either. I don't think I'm going to be able to make that work. And they're like, okay, we'll do it another time. I'm like, yes, freak yeah.
Yeah, a big thing that I've been trying to do in those group setting situations is like, I don't think I can make that, but y'all have a good time.
Yeah.
Because then it's also like, feel free to do this without me.
Yeah.
It's like permission.
Yeah. Yeah, they need your permission to hang out.
They do.
Honestly.
All right, number 6. You feel uncomfortable if someone is angry at you.
Uncomfortable if someone's angry at me?
Like,
it depends on whether or not it's justified, Like if someone has a reason, like if I did something stupid and someone's like upset with me over it or whatever, but I don't know. I feel like anybody, if someone gets like snapped at over something that they didn't do wrong, or because the other person is like say someone's having a bad day or they're stressed and they snap at you over something that you didn't deserve to be snapped at for, or they're angry at you over something, then you have a right to feel uncomfortable. I don't know, because it's like, why are you taking this out on me? That's a weird one.
Yeah, or if someone's getting mad at you and it's not necessarily that either one of you in that situation is wrong.
Yeah.
But it's like you're each trying to listen to your own things. I don't know. I feel like, and this is kind of funny, I'm admitting this out loud on a podcast. Because me and my boyfriend don't fight a lot.
Yeah.
We have really good communication and we do
Yeah.
talk things out like, oh, if like this is bothering me, this or that. But I also do feel like we both sometimes will be like, oh, like, I don't want you to be mad. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, that's the one person I'm like, I hate when he's mad at me or if has like a thing with me. I'm like, am I being annoying? Like, what's
Yeah.
happening?
Even like the description under this one, just because someone is mad doesn't necessarily mean you did anything wrong. If you didn't do anything wrong and someone's mad at you, then you deserve to be uncomfortable. I don't know. That's weird. I just skipped this one. That one's lame.
All right.
Psychology today, you suck. No, I'm kidding.
Number
Sorry.
7, you act like the people around you.
I think I used to do that, and I think I don't anymore. I think I kind of grew out of that. I remember in high school, I was like, this sounds so dumb to say, but I used to be a popular kid. But I wasn't a popular
Ooh.
kid because I was like a popular kid. I was a popular kid because I did a lot of stuff.
Okay.
Where it's like I was, captain of the basketball team, so I had basketball friends, and then I also did like choir and theater, so I had like choir and theater friends, and then I was also, in honors smart people classes, so I had my smart friends, and I was a gamer, and all my smart friends were also my gamer friends. But it's like I feel like I was like in the student body government, whatever. So it's like I had kind of all these different groups of people that I would spend time with.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think I would adapt my personality kind of to fit whichever group I was around in a way. I don't know that that's necessarily like I
No,
don't know.
that's different because I was just going to say when you're around certain people, it brings out certain aspects and parts of your personality that it wouldn't in other places.
Yeah,
You
that's
know
what
I
this
mean?
says. It's normal for other people to bring out different sides of your personality, but people pleasers often sabotage their goals. Studies show that people pleasers engage in self-destructive behavior if they think it will help others feel more comfortable in social situations. Actually, yeah, I do that. Now that I read it like that, I had a very unfortunate scenario. It was the first time I hung out with Minx after she was on the show.
Mm-hmm.
She invited me and Destiny to go to a comedy club. Like, she invited us over to her house to hang out and then also go to a comedy club with her and some of her friends.
Yeah.
And these were people, like, I knew who a lot of them were, and, like, I thought they were really cool, and I wanted to, be fun and make a good impression. And I ended up getting, like, having a little bit too much fun.
Yep.
And
Mhm.
then I ended up having to go home early because I vomited in a comedy club.
Yep.
And
That'll
so
happen.
I get that, actually, like having self-destructive behavior because you think like you want other people to see you. Like in that situation, I wanted them to see me as someone who was fun and energetic, and I knew that like substances or like drinking, would help
Yeah.
me feel more comfortable and more loose and be more fun of a person. But then I took it overboard because I felt like, I need to like impress these people. So yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, like, hopefully, because in that situation, you kind of put that pressure on yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas in other situations, people might like peer pressure you.
Yeah.
And if you're a people pleaser, you'll give in probably more easily
Yeah.
to that.
I think I'm a good learner though, because ever since that, I haven't done that again.
Well, that's good.
Because I realized, like, I was like, oh, that was really stupid and a mistake, and I didn't need to do that. Like, so I just didn't do it again. So I don't know. Maybe I think I could definitely point to some scenarios that I've definitely been there before, but I don't think I do it super often.
Yeah. Maybe you're already in your reformation.
Maybe I'm getting better. That would suck. Do you know how much less funny I would be if I was like
I was like,
mentally
why would that
healthy? Oh my God. I'm going to be so unfunny once I'm
when you're
mentally well.
When you're done with therapy.
Yeah. God, I'm going to be the worst.
Oh no. Okay, number 8. You need praise to feel good.
Yes, God. Yes,
Yeah.
I need people. See, that's the
Like,
thing
do you
about.
depend on the validation though? Like, you depend on it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I do something that I think is good and nobody gives me praise for it, then I feel poopy. And, like,
Yeah.
I'll try and go out of my way. I'll even ask. I'll just straight up be like, was that good? Like, was that a good, like I'll make a food.
Yeah.
And someone will eat it and they don't like say anything. I'm like, was it good? Did you like it? Like, tell me I'm good at what I do.
So you say you said in a previous podcast that you don't typically clean around your apartment too much.
When did I say that?
With Nicole.
When did I out myself?
with Nicole because she's like, I'm always cleaning. You're like, you're always cleaning.
Yeah. Oh no, God, no. I never clean. I mean, I
You're
okay.
not gross, but like you're
I'm
not
not
like
gross. I
deep
keep
cleaning
my
everywhere.
room clean enough, but like, yeah, I'm not there. I'm not like every weekend I'm sweeping and mopping my floor or shit like
Yeah.
that. Like, I don't do that. Like,
Yeah.
I'll keep a tidy enough space. Like, I got some piles of clothes on, in my hamper that I haven't put away, but I'm not like, you see those like like the gamer room pictures where it's like some dude
Yeah.
in his desk and it's just bags of food and cans and drinks
Hmm.
just all covering the entire floor. That's not me.
Yeah.
I swear.
So I don't know if you have this with your roommate at all, but for me, it's like when I actually clean, like mop the floor or sweep the floor, I want so bad to just like not say anything, but I want people to notice that I did it
Oh, yeah.
so bad. And so I bite my tongue. And then when no one says anything, I'm like, oh, yeah, so I mopped the floors today. And it's like,
That's
because I
funny.
can't, because I'm like, but I did a nice thing. It doesn't just
Yeah.
benefit me.
Yeah.
And I didn't do it for the praise, but the praise would be nice.
Yeah. No, I don't clean. I like do my dishes and occasionally I struggle with object permanence, so a lot of times like
Okay.
I'll leave something in the fridge and then like if I don't eat it, then like I'll leave it in there and forget it's there. So like sometimes Aton has to text me and be like, "Hey, you should probably throw like that thing in the fridge out." And then I'm like, "Oh, yeah. You mean my leftover El Pollo Loco from a month ago? Yeah, I probably ought to throw that out. You're right. I forgot it was there."
Oh my God. See, I'm the person in the house that I just throw it away.
I would yeah, I mean, hey.
I tell them, I'm like, hey, I'm going to throw this out. You haven't touched it in like 2 weeks. Unless it is a container and the container is full of food that's going to be smelly and it's like a container that you keep.
Oh, yeah, no.
And then I'm like, no, I'm not
That's
touching
why
that.
I never put anything in containers. I hate Tupperware sucks.
This
For a guy
just
like
in.
me, Tupperware's the worst because I'll put something in there, completely forget it exists. The amount of times that I've had like Tupperware containers and I just throw them out because
Yes.
I'll put leftover food in there and then I'll forget about it and it'll sit in the fridge and I'll see it and I'm like, I don't even want to open that. I don't know. I don't want to
Nope.
know what organisms have grown
Nope.
in there, and I just throw the whole container out.
Oh no. And that's why
It's-
you can never use your good containers
No.
because if you use your good containers, then you're gonna end up throwing out all your good containers. You have to use your crappy ones. So you're able to throw them out just
Yeah.
in case.
Ziploc bags. Every leftover food. If I get
Foil.
food, foil or Ziploc bags, honestly, like. But most of the food that I'll save, like. Most of the food that I save is usually food from places. Like I'll bring something home from a restaurant. So usually it's already in a just go container. So then I
Yeah.
forget about it. And then it's like, oh, it's already in a disposable container.
Yeah.
Number 9.
Number 9. You go to great lengths to avoid conflict.
No. No, I would say I'm a conflict enjoyer.
Really?
Not necessarily. It depends. I think it depends on the conflict, but I think my dad growing up, my dad was very much if there's an issue, then it needs to be resolved. Like if you have an issue with someone or something, then talk it through and get through it. It doesn't like he was never someone that liked to let conflict sit. So I kind of was just always taught growing up to like take the conflict head on, like resolve it, get through it. And so I think there are some conflicts that I avoid. It depends what it is, but for the most part, if there's an issue or something, it's usually things that don't relate to me usually.
Okay.
Where conflict that has something to do with who I am as a person, I avoid. Because like if the conflict is based around the fact that like I don't communicate my feelings well because I don't have great mental health or whatever that is, and that's causing distress on another, then like I don't know. I don't like to talk about myself, my own feelings with other people. But if there's a conflict that has to do with something else, like a work conflict, or if there's something that I don't like, work is a good example. Like if there is something that I think should be changed or be done differently, I'll say that. Like I'm not someone that's just gonna like, bite my tongue and just like whatever, I'll get through it. I'll bring it up. So I don't know. I wouldn't consider myself a conflict avoider though.
Yeah, I grew up in a very like let's talk about our feelings, but then be passive aggressive household in a sense. Like I never saw my parents fighting growing up, and I always thought like, oh, that's so good. And then I realized like, no, they're letting all these annoyances build up.
Yeah.
And then now as an adult, I'm like, well, have you said something?
Yeah.
And they're like, well, no. And I'm like, well, no one's a mind reader, but I feel like I actually know I'm pretty blunt with people.
Yeah.
I don't like conflict in certain aspects of things, I guess, in terms of like if I can avoid it, like if it's not necessary,
Yeah. Yeah.
then I will.
That makes sense. There's definitely some things where it's like, if it feels like the conflict isn't worth the resolution,
Exactly.
you know what I mean? Where it's like, yeah, I could go like die on this hill or engage or say this thing. But if the conflict isn't, or like if the resolution that happens afterward isn't worth like the fight or whatever you're gonna have with someone, then it's just whatever. Like I'll bite my tongue on like stupid stuff.
Yeah.
But do you have any conflict with me? Let's get it out now.
Um, I don't think so. Just
Oh, you're avoiding conflict.
no, I'm trying to think of one. You didn't tweet today,
Okay. Sorry.
but you did apologize to that already. We didn't even have to have the conflict.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying.
No, my bad. You hate me. I get it. It's okay.
Yeah, I do. I can't believe it.
I just need you to like me.
All right, number 10. You don't admit when your feelings are hurt.
Yeah,
Like-
I'd say so. I don't like to admit when my feelings are hurt. To the person that hurt them, I'll definitely talk about it later with someone else. But
Yeah.
like, if someone said something that hurt my feelings, like in that moment, like I'm not gonna say, "Hey, that hurt my feelings," or even after the. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not like a real person. Because I feel like a lot of these, I don't know that I've ever actually experienced the scenario.
You know,
Maybe I don't go outside enough to be a people pleaser.
I also think this list is kind of interesting because I do think it has a lot to do with the people you surround yourself in your life.
Yeah. It's interesting that this list, because I would have said before we read through this list that I consider myself a people pleaser, but I think that this is like I don't know, this list seems very centered around, are you a people pleaser? And the end all be all, or the goal of your pleasing people is to avoid conflict. That's what a lot of these things feel like, where it's like
Yeah.
you pretend to agree with everyone. You maybe not the second one, you feel responsible for other people, but you apologize often. You can't say no. You feel uncomfortable if someone's angry at you. You go to great lengths to avoid, like those ones feel like you please people in order to avoid conflict. I would say I'm more of a people pleaser because I have this really deep-seated desire and need to be liked.
Okay.
Like,
Which
where
I think is
I-
valid.
Yeah, like I really want people to like me, so I do things in order for those people to like me. But also, I don't know, it's not everyone. I don't need to be liked
That's
by everyone necessarily, but
Mhm.
I guess the people that are important to me, or that like there's people that I want to like me. And so I do my best to go out of my way to get them to like me. So maybe that's why I only identify with some of these and in certain situations, because it's not necessarily about avoiding conflict, but it's more about wanting to be liked by these people.
Yeah, and so I think some of the points in there, like you said, that like you seek praise and seek validation in those
Yeah.
ways, because the less if you like someone and they don't really feel that way about you, like that could eat at you.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's how I kind of feel. It's like if someone, not everyone's gonna like you. Obviously, that's true. You know what I mean?
Well-
You can't like everyone.
Well, I think a lot of people like me.
A lot of people do. But I'm just saying that's like if I don't know if you've ever been in the situation where I'm trying to think of like I don't remember the person, but there was just someone who I could tell just wasn't feeling me.
Yeah.
Didn't really like me, but I didn't have an issue with them, so I would always try to be extra nice to them. And I'm like, but now I feel like they probably think I'm being fake. But I'm like, I'm not
Yeah.
trying to be fake. I just don't know why they don't like me and I want them to like me.
I was going to say, I definitely feel like recently I've been growing up more and not needing to be liked by everyone. I think I still want it, but I don't need it as much. And I think that's like the difference for me is like, I'm not going out of my way as much to get people to like me than I was in the past. I don't know. Maybe I'm more confident. Maybe I'm more like self-assured, which doesn't seem right. I don't think I should be there yet.
No, I think that that's good, and it's good that you kind of recognize. Maybe this was good because we went through the list and you realized that you have started growing more as a person. But I also think it's interesting, like with people who are like, oh, I'm a people pleaser, and they like it's a burden on them. Like
Yeah.
they lack self care because of that.
Yeah.
But
That's
I realize that they are only like that to certain people.
yeah.
Like, for me, like, I have a friend, she's like, "Oh, I'm such a people pleaser." And I was like, "Really?" Because I was like, "I don't feel like you
I don't
are."
feel pleased by you.
And then I realized I'm like, "Oh, it's because I'm not, like, I don't expect things from you, like, in that way." Like,
Yeah.
and so I think it does have a lot to do with, are you surrounding yourself with a bunch of, like, kind of toxic people or overbearing people? And that's why I use the family example, because a lot of times you do please your family because you just assume that you have to.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't know, I always grew up with, like, I say no to my family.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like there's a balance where I want to please people. I want people to, have positive interactions with me. But if it doesn't happen that way, I don't let it affect me personally.
Yeah.
If there is something, if I have a negative interaction with someone, or if like something happens, whether it's conflict, whether that's they are mad at me, whatever, like I can't let that affect me. But also, like, I would hope that when I have conversations with people and when I interact with people, that they feel good afterward, that they're pleased. I want that. I don't want people to feel like crap after they talk to me.
No.
This is weird. I don't like psychoanalyzing myself, even though I do it all the time. This is interesting because honestly, the thing I feel like I'm noticing the most is that I feel like I've surrounded myself with really cool people.
Yeah.
Because I don't feel the need to, like, all of my, like, best friends, like, I don't feel the need to do any of this stuff for them. Like, I don't feel like
Mhm.
they expect anything from me other than being a friend.
Exactly.
I've read some really terrible stuff on Reddit. Some, like, really terrible
Yep.
stuff. Because
Yep.
I like to scroll through, like, am I the asshole posts in my
Same.
free time sometimes. But, like, there's some, like, really terrible people out there, and I don't know. The more that I think about the people that I'm the closest to and that I spend the most time with, they're, like, really cool people, and they love me for who I am, and they care about me, and all they expect from me is to be me, and so I don't feel the need to do this stuff. And the only times that in recent memory that I've noticed myself doing this stuff is usually, like, meeting someone new.
Okay.
It's like when I meet a new person, or, like, even, like, going to, like, parties with people that I don't know, or meeting new people in that way, like, I want to please people. But for the people that I'm close to, like, I feel like I can just be myself. And
Yeah.
maybe that's a good thing.
It is a good thing.
It's a good thing.
Yeah.
I got cool friends. Hey, shout out to Destiny, Shalongo, Brandon, Nick, Kevin, Elias, Andrew, Austin, Richard, Jacob.
Is there another Nick?
No, there's only 3 Nicks. You dumb.
I guess basically what we found out today is, like, our friends are cool. And if you feel like you are a people pleaser, maybe also look at the people in your life. Are they
I mean,
expecting?
yeah, that is. I think that there is. I feel like a lot of times, and I've done this before, where, like, you kind of trap yourself into these. It's kind of like this sunk cost fallacy,
Yes.
where it's like, or sunk time fallacy, where it's like, even if you were friends with someone and you've been friends with them for a long time, like, people can change. And I have, like, had friends tell me, or I've heard stories from my friends about where it's like, when I met this person, we were vibing, we were really close, and it just felt like a really good friendship. And then, like, something happened or whatever, they started to change. And then they were, like, I guess, asking a lot of them from a friendship. They expected a lot more than what they should, and kind of taking advantage of them. And look, if someone's going to be toxic, don't avoid the conflict.
Mm-mm.
Like, just take it head on and be like, hey, what's going on? You're kind of being a dingus. You expect way too much from me, and I get, like, nothing in return. And if you're going to continue this pattern of behavior, then I can't be friends with you. And that's really hard to do.
It it's very hard.
It's really hard to look at the people that are in your life, and if there are any toxic people, to identify that and then cut them off. I mean, it's one of the hardest things to do, and I could see how, from that perspective, like, being a people pleaser, that's probably the hardest thing to do.
Yeah.
Is to kind of, like, recognize the situations in your life that, one, make you feel like you need to please people, but please people in a way that puts your own being self-image, self-care at risk, I guess, where you're sacrificing so much of yourself just to make this person happy.
Yes.
And they're giving you nothing in return. And that's when it's toxic. And I think that's when it can be really damaging. And those situations are really hard to get out of. There's not really an easy way to do it. But I think that
Yeah.
that's important, to start to realize. And after being introspective now for the last however time much past, that was a sentence. I'm very thankful for the people that I have in my life, genuinely. I mean, it's nice to be able to not feel like you have a lot of pressure on you from your friends,
Yeah.
and feel like you have a lot of pressure to be the person that they expect you to be. Because that's something that I think I've struggled with even just in my overarching mental health journey is always being the person that people expect me to be.
Yeah.
It's like they have this image of me in their mind, that whether or not I was that person at one point to them, or they've only spent this much amount of time with me, and so this is the portion of me that they know,
Yeah.
and feeling like I always have to be that. Like, I know my friends don't give a crap. Like, they know me very well, and they know who I am, and that's all they expect is just to be myself. And usually it makes it a lot more fun because I don't feel any pressure.
Yeah.
Like, I don't feel the pressure to be, oh, Trevor's a silly, goofy guy, so I've always got to be silly, goofy.
Yeah. I love that this turned into like an appreciation for
I love
people's
my
podcasts.
friends.
Yeah.
I'm very thankful for all of them because I can tell you I have been a person in the past.
Same.
And I know when I was, and the fact that they stuck with me through that and we're still friends to this day, I don't deserve them. They're the greatest group of lads.
That's like solid. That's like real. That's how you know it's like solid, strong friendships that they stuck around for that. Oh, I like that.
Well,
I would like you to clarify something though.
do you want to clarify something?
Yes, I think she knows. I think she knows now, but she had asked Jasmine,
Okay, Jasmine.
what the difference is between slap versus smack.
Like,
Like if something slaps or if something smacks. Is there a difference?
that's tough. I actually don't know that there's a difference. Maybe in the thing that you reference it to, that you describe it as. Like, usually if I say something slaps, it's
It's
usually like
good,
a
right?
song. Yeah, and it's good.
Yeah.
Like, but I usually use that in reference to songs. Like, oh, this song slaps.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what it is about that word that usually makes me connect it to music. But if for me, when something smacks, I tend to use that with food. Like, yo, like Korean barbecue smacks.
Oh, see, I would use slap for either.
Ah.
I never heard smack as like a thing.
I think it's like the same exact thing. I don't think there's a difference. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Hold on. Trevor tries to clarify and fails because I actually don't know. I don't know. If for me, there's not really a difference. But if someone out there would like to clarify for me, please do. Comments, tweet me, DM me. I don't know. Maybe there is. I don't know. That's a tough one. You've stumped me. I mean, you didn't stump me. I had an answer. Okay. Personally, for me, there's not a difference, but maybe other people think there is. Stop celebrating my failure.
I like that.
What?
Just kidding. I don't like when you fail.
It's not about the money.
Oh gosh. Okay.
It's
I'm just
about
cutting the podcast
sending
off now.
a message. Well, we've talked about being a people pleaser. I've gone on a journey of self-discovery, which has been lovely. Thank you all for giving me the platform to do so publicly. Which is weird. I don't know if you feel like you're a people pleaser, or if you feel like you have a perspective on it. Maybe you're a recovering people pleaser. Let me know. Tweet at me. Tell me your story. I'd love to hear them. Because honestly, when I was going through this, I genuinely started to realize, like, I don't know if I actually fit this bill. But I think everybody's, scenario is different. So I'd love to hear some of your personal stories. Also, the midterm elections are coming up on November 8th. And a lot of you across the U.S. are going to be voting in some very important elections, some crucial spots in Congress, governors, and different special elections. So Vote Like a Beast is back. We did it last year. You probably heard about it. But yeah, we're just trying to give you a lot of tools to inform you. You can go to votelikeabeast.com to check your voting status, whether or not you voted yet. You can register to vote there. Yeah, and we're also selling some stickers over there, and all of the profits that we make from those stickers are going to vote.org, which is a website and a resource that helps people exercise their right to vote. So people all across the U.S., it just helps make sure that everyone that has a right to vote, which is anybody above the age of 18 and isn't a felon, that those people have access to and can vote. So definitely go check out votelikeabeast.com. It's a super cool resource and tool that can help you in these upcoming elections. And yeah, I guess that wraps it up. Thanks for listening to Trevor Talks Too Much.
Wrapped up like a burrito.
Exactly, Jamie. Or a gordita. A cheesy gordita crunch. I don't know what that is. I'm kidding, I do. Thank you for listening to Trevor Talks Too Much, the show where we talk about different Taco Bell menu items and whether or not we want to have sex with them. Listen every Tuesday wherever you get your podcasts. Check out the video version the following Monday over on YouTube. And leave a review. Leave a comment. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you don't like. Let me know if you like these solo episodes that I'm doing. If you like just hearing me talk to Jamie and talk to myself. Let me know if you hate them and you feel like you need a guest to dilute my stupid brainwaves. No, self-positivity. I'm not stupid. I'm a genius. I don't know. Follow us on Twitter, all the socials, Mythical Pods on TikTok. You know the drill. Thank you, everyone. Have a lovely week. Bye.